Hello everyone. Welcome to Watercolor Lunch Break. I am trying this new format and let's see. Okay. This is, for some reason I'm hearing, why am I hearing? Okay. All right. So this is my version of a relaxing moment where I'm inviting you to spend a couple of minutes either watching some soothing watercolors or maybe joining me along in painting so we can paint together, whichever you prefer. But I have some music playing in the background. Hi, David. Thank you so much for joining. If you could confirm that the sound is okay, if you don't mind. This is my first time doing it by myself in a long time. So hopefully trying to work out the different tech issues that might happen. But hopefully you can hear me okay. There should be like a little bit of a background music. Hopefully it's not too overwhelming. But I'll get started. So I'm going to just kind of wake up my watercolor palette. Awesome. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. Okay. All right. So I've added some water to just wake up my colors a little bit. And I honestly just want to have like a calm, relaxing moment. So I don't have any kind of specific item I'm trying to paint. I'm just going to start with a couple of circular shapes and just see what happens. One of the reasons why I love watercolors is it's just so soothing to observe how the water interacts with paint. So I think I'm just going to do a series of colorful bubbles or circles. Oh, thank you, David. So you can hear the music. Let me see if I can maybe turn it up just a little bit, because it is like a very kind of soothing track. Okay, I turned it up just for a moment. Let me know if it's okay. But yeah, so I'm just not really thinking about anything, any like kind of rules of like, oh, this color needs to go here. Like I have no kind of, the only plan here is just to play with some colors and yeah, literally just play with colors and kind of see what kind of experiments happen. So sometimes you may have a ton of colors on your palette and you may not know, if they mix together, what happens. So this is a kind of a nice and relaxing way to find out, if you like a certain color combination or maybe you don't, that's also useful information. Awesome. Okay, thank you so much, David, for confirming that the sound is good. Really appreciate that. So I'm just taking my time and I'm kind of playing around with different sizes. Whenever you have a series of shapes, and it's really fun to try different sizes to see how they look next to each other. And I think my favorite part of playing with colors like this is you just like really get to see how watercolor, like really the magic of watercolor, which I know I'm a little biased, but I think it's a very, very relaxing medium. Let's see, here we go. So this is kind of your moment to practice non-judgment. So, whatever shape or line you place down on the paper, I encourage you to just accept it as it is. We're not looking for perfection here. There's no right or wrong way. We're just literally playing with colors. I've been wanting to do this series for a while, and one concern I have for the next few months is that there's a lot of construction going on around where I live, and hopefully during lunchtime they will be also taking a lunch break so that there won't be any like weird background sounds. But I essentially just wanted to do these on a Friday so that, if you're not able to join live, you could always come back and watch the stream at a later time, preferably, or maybe during the weekend, and kind of like get inspired to get out your art supplies. Or, if you don't have watercolors, you could do something similar with even just a pen and pencil, just a bunch of different circles all around a piece of paper. David said colors. Thank you so much, David. I really, really appreciate you tuning in. I definitely think it's a lot more fun when you add colors. I also like to, so after I, add a little circle, I can drop in some colors and just like see what happens. Which is really, really cool. And, if you are just tuning in and maybe you're like, oh, I don't have watercolors with me, even just watching art or art making in the process is a very kind of relaxing experience. So there's been lots of studies shown about the power of art, and just, enjoying it, like, it can really help us feel a little better. It's like a little helps to boost our mood. And another variation on this, you could do, my circles are intersecting, kind of touching each other. So you could have yours, be further apart, just whatever feels good in the moment. Like, I really encourage you to just take this short moment, like a quick lunch break, and practice disconnecting from your thoughts and worries. because guess what? They'll still be there when you're back from your lunch break. But whenever I find myself feeling a little stressed out or anxious, I'll just honestly just play with colors like this, where it's like very low pressure kind of situation. There's no one, like, I'm not doing this for anybody. Well, in the situation I am showing you, so I am sharing this with you, but I'm just, sharing the idea that it's like I get to just play with colors. There's no kind of rule that I need to follow. Just adding little circular shapes. Thank you, David. David said, so nice to watch shapes transform and develop as they dry. I agree, because like you will start with, one type of kind of color and shading, and then as it dries, it'll turn, change its appearance a little bit. So with watercolors, it will always dry a shade lighter than what you're, painting, like while it's still wet. So that's kind of something to keep in mind. But you could also, along with dropping colors, you can also just add a little droplet of water, and that will also create these interesting kind of marks. And on some of these, I'm like painting right on top of the other circles. And because, for example, in this case, this one completely dried, you can kind of see it. Since, watercolors are transparent, you'll be able to kind of see some of the layers beneath another shape. All right, let's see. Might add a couple here. So I don't know if you're familiar with this. Part of why I'm kind of going back to the watercolor lunch idea is that this was how I got back into, or how I started with watercolors. I would bring a set to work. So when I worked in the corporate world, I, during my lunch break, I would eat my lunch really quickly, and then I'd grab my paints and just play a little bit. And it was such a nice break from looking at the screen. And it's like very tactile because you get to use your hands, and it's so colorful. So I wanted to do kind of a virtual version of that concept. And hopefully, my ultimate intention is that it inspires you to pick up watercolors and start playing as well, because it is such a soothing and relaxing medium. And if you just allow yourself to kind of play and experiment and not judge it, practice not judging whatever it is that's in front of you, it can be such a beautiful experience. All right, I think I'm done. I didn't want these live streams to be super long because I know we're all busy, but I wanted to basically share that you don't need a lot of time to fill your cup and to do a little bit of creative self-care, where maybe it's with watercolors, maybe it's just with a pen and pencil, but taking that little mental vacation, mental break, can really help us get more energy and get ready to get back to work and then continue on. So hopefully, um, if you're inspired to pick up watercolors, let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching and for tuning in. And super special shout out to David for joining me live on this live stream. Thank you so much and have a great weekend.